Hello and welcome to Joy Newsroom with me, Sweetie Abochi. Coming up in the next 1 hour, West African Examination Council confirms it will proceed with the conduct of the 2024 Education Certificate Examination in spite of heavy government indebtedness to the tune of over 20 million Ghana cedis. We'll hear from WAEC, who says they have received a financial warrant as temporary measure to guarantee the conduct of the examinations. Also, concerns emerge over the surge in non-communicable diseases in the Northern region. There's more from the Northern Regional Minister, who is pointing to diabetes, hypertension as some of the most prominent cases up north. Also, National Investigation Bureau comes under criticism for some members of Parliament for spending taxpayers' money to conduct a survey on the preferred running mate to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is contesting this year's presidential elections.
Even though I would have preferred that no such survey, obviously unwarranted, was conducted by the State Intelligence Bureau. Because then it creates the sense that Dr. Bawumia is being pressured into a certain decision.
Serious mandate given to this body. And you go about conducting MPP polls with my taxpayers' money? How do they expect NDC members to feel? Neutrals to feel?
These and many more coming up right here on Joy Newsroom. Stay for details. In our first story, Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Samuel Okudzeto Blacka, insists the sale of 5 hotels to Brian Champon's Rock City Hotel by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust lacks moral substance and smells of conflict of interest. He alleges that he has evidence of insider interest, arm twisting, and the changes in the procurement process to favor Rock City Hotel's bid. This follows the Member of Parliament's hands-off our hotel demonstration held on Thursday, and he spoke on Newsfile.
Here we are today. We are talking about SNIT divesting itself of 60% of its shares in, we started at 6 hotels, again, in a bizarre and total mutilation of our procurement laws. It moves from 6 to 4, where 4 of the juiciest hotels in the pack are picked. We are saying that this is a clear case of conflict of interest under Article 284 and 287 of the Constitution. We are also saying that the conflict of interest safeguards provided under Articles 78 and 98 of the Constitution, where public officials, MPs, ministers, must go through a process, go to the committee of members holding office. Let the committee really look into your transactions, what you intend to do, to be sure that you will not be caught in a conflict of interest situation. Now, the reason why we are still agitating is because you and I know that Shraj does not have injunction powers. After we went to Shraj on the 17th of May, we intercepted further documents that they were proceeding to do final due diligence under this transaction, and that if care is not taken, we will be presented with a fait accompli, and it wouldn't matter the Shraj decision. You remember even in the Domelevo case, you and your colleagues, civil society, went to court, but by the time the court decision came many months after Domelevo had been removed, that victory, I don't know how you call that kind of victory, Domelevo could not be reinstated and all of that. We do not want that situation because we know that this government has the tendency to act in impunity. Ideally, with the Shraj petition, everybody should back off. But organized labor were told to go and meet the employment minister and the SNIT board by the president. Surprisingly, when they went for those meetings, it was an attempt to convince them to accept this transaction.
In a rebuttal, lawyer and Minister for Tourism, Mercer, noted that the procedure for takeover by Rock City breaches no law.
This is nothing but politics. Pure and simple. It has nothing to do with the interest of SNIT or the pension fund holders. It has nothing to do with anything but the personality of Brian Champon, who is acquiring that asset, who happens to be an MPP member, who hasn't breached any law, either constitutional or otherwise. That is the only basis for all this noise.
He hasn't breached any law.
What law has he breached?
The provisions of the Constitution.
Show me. Show me.
He needs a certificate of the Speaker.
Very good.
To do a job for emoluments.
You see?
And we understand he doesn't have a certificate.
Says who? I don't have a problem. Where's the recourse? Oh, I'm coming. Where is the recourse to charge? Read chapter 24, article 287. An allegation that the public officer has contravened or has not complied with the provision of this chapter. It's only a 3-page chapter, chapter 24. The article 98 that he makes reference to. You can only go to the speaker to lodge a complaint.
I went to Shraj because of 287 is the forum which is Shraj.
Wait.
Yes.
284 says a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interest. Has Brian Achampon put himself in any position relative to this transaction that his personal interest is conflicting with the performance of his public office? Is he a Minister for Finance? Is he the board? Is he on the board of SNET?
He's not at cabinet.
Thank you very much. Is it a cabinet decision? Have you seen any cabinet memo relative to this transaction that SNET board has submitted this transaction to cabinet for approval and Brian Achampon participated in the decision?
You are not sure?
Have you seen it? You see? Look, Samson, I'm coming. Oh, please. You see? So he says it's going to charge under Article 284.
And 287.
And I'm saying that 284 can only be relevant in that only case that you read, where Brian Achampon, in this case, if he was contracting as minister with a third-party company that he had an interest in, then you could properly found an allegation of conflict of interest against him. That is what the procedure that is spelled out in 287 says. That when anybody breaches a provision of this chapter 24, go to charge. But I'm saying that because you yourself realize that Brian has not breached any 284 provision, strictly so-called, you are bringing in 98. And I'm saying that 98, if you say, and I'm not in a position to verify, he's breached it, your recourse is not to charge. And so you go and gather people and go and do demonstration and play NDC songs. So it's pure politicking. And use the tag that suits them. State capture. Where is the state capture in this?
Moving on, the West African Examination Council has confirmed receipt of a warrant from the government of Ghana, which will allow the examination body to proceed with the scheduled BECE, that is the Basic Education Certificate Examination. However, the Public Affairs Director at the West African Examination Council, John Kapi, said although it has received a warrant, the conduct of the BEC will be operating on a scale of preference. He spoke to me yesterday on Joy News Prime.
So far, we've received a warrant for 47.125594 million Ghana cedis. So what we're going to have to do would be to draw a scale of preference so that we give priority to the conduct of the examination, after which we'll speak about the other costs. And if there are further releases, we'll go ahead and then process the results and release them. When you look at the processes that we go through, we have our pre-examination process, we have the main examination, that's the conduct, and then we have the post-examination activities. Now, for the pre-examination, it includes procuring stationery for the examination by way of answer booklets, by way of pencils, objective answer cards. Now, we also have to do the printing at the printing press, and then also to prepare ourselves and then move in bulk all the question papers to the regions and then to the various examination centers. Now, as we speak, we have been able to do print some answer booklets to the tune of about 12.6 million cedis. We have been able to buy pencils to the tune of 1.146. And then we've also bought bond paper for printing. That costs about 48 million Ghana cedis. Now, so if I talk about a scale of preference, what I'm simply saying is that We would not be able to pay our debtors. However, we would be able to conduct the examination as we are supposed to do. We are non-profit making, and so all we do is depend on examination fees. So, well, we have been in contact with the Minister of Education. We've written a number of letters, and once this first tranche has been released to us, we are hopeful that going forward, further releases will be made to enable us to sustain our operations.
Do you have timelines you're working with? Have you been given some timelines?
No, for now, we haven't had any timelines given. All we have been told, all we have is this warrant that we are going to process through gift miss. Maybe as the days go by, we may have some communication to that effect where they'll probably tell us at the times that they'll be releasing some of these funds to us.
The National Investigation Bureau has come under intense criticism for spending taxpayers' money to conduct a survey on the preferred running mate to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who's contesting this year's presidential elections on the ticket of the NPP. The nationwide survey by the NIB tipped Energy Minister, Dr. Opoku Prempeh, as the preferred candidate to partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as running mate ahead of the December polls. But the document has met the displeasure of some members of parliament who are suggesting impropriety. While North Tongu Member of Parliament, Samuel Okudzeto Blacka, and Member of Parliament for Second D, Ejapa Mercer, believes the survey is unwarranted, security consultant Richard Kumado, who worked at the then Bureau of National Investigations, which is now the National Intelligence Bureau, says this survey on running mates is not a usual practice.
What a BNI does basically is to have three core priority areas, or we call them the priority interest areas. One is national security interest, or what you call national interest. Then the second one is public safety guarantee interest, and the third one is national sovereignty protective interest. And that is why you will hear them say they work in the interest of the state, or their priority is for national security. This survey definitely is out of the reach of the BNI, and for some of them who have worked there for many years or privileged, we might say that whoever committed this particular survey did not take through it properly.
Right.
The nature of the report, together with the recommendations they have made, they have created a little bit of integrity problems for the BNI or the NIB.
Right.
One of the dangers is also that it's going to create investigation and monitoring issues for the frontliners. And sister, you'll be surprised to know that the BNI is a secret service organization, and whatever they do remains in there. To the extent that you have confidentiality stamp on the report, it means that whoever linked the report to the general public has actually committed a treasonable offense and has also raised a documentary security risk accessibility issues for the BNI. So this is where we are.
Away from that, Vice Chairman of the Committee on Local Government and Rural Development, Suleiman Adamu Sanid, admits government's policy directions have not focused on improving the lives of Ghanaians, but rather on political gains. His comments follow a Ghana Statistical Service report, which shows that 7.3 million people in Ghana are multidimensionally poor. At a meeting to deliberate on ways to lift the 7 million people out of poverty, Suleiman Adamu Sanid says government must prioritize the living conditions of people rather than political gains.
The Ghana Statistical Service held an engagement with members of Parliament Subcommittee on Local Government and Rural Development to deliberate on recent figures which reveal that a large part of the country's population is in abject poverty. The report also revealed that 3.1 million people out of the 7.3 million are extremely poor. In an interview, Vice Chairman of the Committee on Local Government and Rural Development, Suleiman Adamu Sanid, said prioritizing policy interventions that will remedy the situation is critical.
We are not really allowing the information and the data that we've gathered over the years to direct our policy directions. I think a lot of things that we've done have not been actually been based on the data that we are seeing. Some of the decisions that we've taken as a country, some of them have been just purely being on emotional basis. Some have been purely based on political expediency. Some of them have been based purely on other considerations. As you know, we always say familiar considerations, which have not helped us well. So I think we need to engage ourselves once more. And here I'm talking about political players. All the political players, the civil society groups, the traditional authorities, and all stakeholders must sit down. And then we all decide on the way forward.
Deputy Ranking Member on the committee, Benjamin Podo, also described the situation as worrying.
The survey done can inform us so as to be able as policymakers to determine where to do the multiple interventions that can lead people out of poverty. Because according to them, if you are deprived of about a third of the indicators, it means you are really very poor. So it is necessary that policy decision makers should intervene in those directions.
Director of Social Statistics at the Ghana Statistical Service, Omar Seidu, emphasized the importance of using the findings to inform policy decisions to eliminate poverty.
It's a district like Asokwa. Just about 6% of the population there are multidimensionally poor. Then you go to a district in Upper East, I think is in Napdam or so, and you have about 70% of the population there being multidimensionally poor. So the understanding there is that these two districts, when they have to prioritize policies to intervene, they all have to look at it in respect to what their districts, what contribute most to multidimensional poverty in their districts. So it will not be one policy fit all for everybody. It has to be district specific, and that's why we are very happy that we have had the opportunity to disseminate this already to all the districts last week. Last week we did the dissemination for all the districts, 261 districts in this country. So all of them have access to this. And so it's our expectation that the district level, they will be able to use this to support their planning.
The Multidimensional Poverty Index is a non-monetary measure of poverty that explains the living conditions of Ghanaians.
Increasing zoonotic diseases and environmental contamination endanger public health, demanding closer collaboration between human and animal health practitioners. Experts at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology have observed the emerging encroachment of wildlife diseases on human population. Veterinary surgeon and Deputy Director of the National Food Safety Laboratory, Dr. Benjamin Kisisasu, is highlighting the urgent approach which underscores coordinated efforts by human and animal health practitioners to address zoonotic situations. Here's the report.
The world is currently battling massive disease transfers from animals to humans. The emergence of rabies, Ebola, bird flu, and Lyme diseases brought the world on its feet, underscoring the encroachment of known animal diseases on humans. This phenomenon exposes the fragility of isolated practices of human health and animal health, the boundary between veterinary and human health practice. The One Health approach promises an interdisciplinary collaboration that sets up effective systems of detection and response to zoonotic diseases. Veterinary surgeon Dr. Benjamin Kisi says adopting the One Health approach will ensure the effective protection of all species.
But currently, with the diseases that are coming from animal to human, and we have issues of environmental playing a role, like calamity. The chemicals will get to water body. Fishes will get to consume them. We humans will go in for them. We also have the environment in terms of the forest being destroyed, and the man is getting closer. So the diseases that are in the wild are now even getting closer. Man as it is may be doing things that is impact on the environment, which later tend to bring issues against him or herself. So that's why these are boundaries that exist. So currently, we, the animal health sector, need to collaborate with the human health and environment. Like business, or visit the farms, or do inspection of meat. But this time around, bring out solutions to these are boundaries that are existing, that together we want to help break. And this is what I presented to them, for them to be reassured that their way of taking as they are going through their cannabis will change. And I ended by saying that we can't build a future for them, but we can build them for the future. Like currently, we are planning of an activity campaign for 6 months. I start from July to December. Ghana has signed to a chapter charter that by 2030 we should eradicate rabies in Ghana. It's sad reality is that just last week we had a case, and this morning there's a case in the Sanitation region. So these are boundaries that we need to try to break.
Dr. Benjamin was speaking on the theme Veterinary Medicine, Breaking New Boundaries Through One Health during the 9th White Coat ceremony of the School of Veterinary Medicine at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The ceremony saw the passing of 80 students at the school, which offers a 6-year Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program. Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine, Professor Benjamin Emikpe, admonished graduates to maintain professionalism to excel in the animal health practice field.
Which every student must be able to know the principle of transformation, the principle of documentation, the principle of doing it yourself to attain a professional that professional knowledge, to be able to pass that to other incoming veterinarians.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabwa.
Let's stay on health for a bit. And the Northern Regional Minister, Shani Al-Hassan Saibu, has expressed worry over the increased cases of non-communicable diseases in the Northern region. He said the region has seen a significant increase in cases such as diabetes and hypertension, among others. The minister said this in a speech read on his behalf at the launch of this year's Good Life Health Fairs in Tamale.
The Good Life Health Fairs is an initiative under the USAID accelerating social and behavior change being implemented in the northern and northeast regions of Ghana by the Ghana Health Service, Savannah Signatures, and other consortium partners to reduce the disease burden across multiple health areas, generate demand for an increase in the uptake of health service facilities, whilst creating supportive environment for behavior change. Addressing the gathering, a Deputy Regional Coordinating Director, Sherifatu Jima, who read the minister's speech, said the region has seen an increase in non-communicable diseases. She said even though there is an increase in cases such as cardiovascular disease, hypertension, asthma, and other cases of diabetes has seen a decline, attributing it to positive healthy behaviors adopted by the citizens.
I am reliably informed that non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, that is hypertension and stroke, asthma, cancers, and the others are increasing in the region. The region recorded 0.27% of diabetic cases in 2021. It declined to 0.24% in 2022 and further reduced to 0.11% in 2023. The continued decline in trend of these diseases can be partly attributed to the positive healthy behaviors adopted by citizens through accelerating social and behavioral change activities in the region. It is therefore abundantly clear that adopting positive healthy attitude can be beneficial and co-effective in preventing diseases than to treat them.
The Northern Regional Director of Health Service, Dr. Abdullah Yakubu, whose speech was read on his behalf by the Regional Health Promoter, said the Good Life Health Fairs is aimed at bringing health service and health education to the doorstep of the people.
The Good Life Health Fairs embody the power of community-based interventions by bringing health services, education, and commodities directly to the people. You break down barriers to access and empower individuals to take charge of their health. Through practical demonstrations and direct engagement with health providers, community members will gain the skills and confidence to adopt healthy behaviors and navigate the health systems.
Executive Director of the Savannah Signatures, Dr. Stephen Agwanyo, said the collaboration is aimed at contributing to the Healthy Life campaign for a healthy population.
These health fairs are envisioned by the leadership of the USAID SBC activity, exemplifies the significance of today, June 20th, World Productivity Day, in many ways. Through the health fairs, we showcase how a strategy such as this, a health fair, can help us perform simple tasks but achieve more results, more health outcomes in the end. By doing all of this, we are contributing to a healthy population who will be more productive, and not just to their local communities, but to the nation, Ghana.
Still on the issues of health, the Christian Health Association of Ghana has engaged close to 2,000 management members of its health facilities to take decisive steps towards the full adoption, ownership, and institutionalization of the Safe Care Quality Improvements Program. Farm Access Ghana, in partnership with the Christian Health Association of Ghana, uses the Safe Care standards to benchmark and improve the quality of care across its network of facilities. This collaboration aims to ensure that healthcare services provided at the Christian Health Association of Ghana facilities meet international quality standards, thereby improving patient outcomes and overall healthcare delivery in Ghana. Emmanuel Jivenu has more.
According to the World Health Organization, about 3 million people die in the world annually from unsafe care. 1 in 10 patients is harmed in the process of seeking care, while an average of 7 million people die in low and middle income countries from unsafe care. This underscores the need for quality health care to reduce the preventable death due to poor service delivery. Speaking at the forum, Executive Director of CHAG, Dr. Peter Yeboah, said that member facilities are now regarded as the game changers in quality-based healthcare delivery in Ghana.
In an era of evidence-based or evidence-informed medicine, you cannot thrive only on hope and faith. Vital as they are, you need to demonstrate that your service provision is backed by science. And so, Safe Care was introduced to us. We wanted a structured, stepwise scientific way of measuring, rating, benchmarking, identifying gaps, overlaps, and most importantly, coming out with innovative interventions to address the gaps identified. CHAG is now being acclaimed as a thought leader, as an innovator, as a pioneer, as a game changer.
On its part, the country director of Farm Access Ghana, Dr. Maswell Enchi, revealed that Ghana Health Service is gradually adapting, scaling up, and nationalizing safe care.
The Ministry of Health has also seen the change that CHAG has birthed because it has heightened and enlarged the need for quality. If you look at, and I was surprised when the Ministry of Health shared the Health Summit agenda with me, and I realized that the big item ticket on it was about the CHAG Safe Care Program and how the whole of Ghana can learn from it.
Safe Care Director Ghana, Bonifacia Benefo Eji, emphasized the importance of ownership and commitment to continuous improvement.
Quality is the responsibility of those in authority. The quality ownership is not from bottom, like we are talking about, we are doing now. It is actually from top. The leadership of quality is from top.
Deputy Executive Director of CHAG, Dr. James Dua, further encouraged the facility owners to ensure a sustained implementation, ownership, and institutionalized safe care.
Co-opt the heads of the unit into management. So you can have, if you have the tripartite or whatever it is, you can have one of them add additional role of management member in charge of quality, so that he will work with the quality manager and talk about issues of quality so that anytime he or she comes for management meeting, bring the issues of quality for discussion.
With continued support and commitment from facility managers, the sustainable adoption of safe care standards promises a future of safer and more reliable healthcare services in Ghana.
Taking us on a quick break, we'll return with more stories right here on Joy Newsroom. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is Joy Newsroom with me, Sweetie Abochi. Moving on, students in the fields of science, social science and engineering are often overwhelmed with academic activities affecting their entrepreneurship efforts. Balancing rigorous coursework with the demands of running a business becomes challenging for such students with little to no formal training in business management and financial planning. Director of Finance at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, David Agbam Ajay, is, however, encouraging young aspirants or entrepreneurs to remain dedicated to planning and adhering to their business plans to ensure the success of their businesses. Here's the report.
Financial literacy has become a critical outlook for young people to be able to manage their finances while improving their entrepreneurial spirit. For students who do not specialize in finance, like engineering students, science and agricultural students, efforts of equipping them is beneficial. For students who are undergoing entrepreneurial ventures, by learning about budgeting, saving, investing and managing debt, these students can make more informed financial decisions regardless of their field of study. Mr. J. David Abam is admonishing entrepreneurs to diligently monitor their internal processes and the operational efficiency of their businesses to ensure progress and sustainability.
They are simply things that you put in place to help you check you so that you don't overspend your money. You don't do something that will lead to a problem for you, right? So you put certain measures like you have asset. How do you make sure that the asset are safeguarded? You have a business. How do you make sure that you ensure the business? You have, let's say, properties. How do you make sure that you have put certain measures in place so that those properties are secured? Those are all financial controls that every entrepreneur must put in place. The next one is that you must put internal controls in place. When we say internal controls, they are simply something like control environment, which we say you must be conscious of what you are doing. Number two, risk management. You must know, simply put, what could go wrong in the business you are doing. Anything at all can go wrong. What could go wrong? You have to sit down and plan about those things that could also go wrong. Then also you look at monitoring. As part of your internal controls, you monitor whatever you are doing.
A financial literacy and entrepreneurship summit by the Mechanical Engineering Student Association of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has been instituted to provide essential financial skills for young engineering students. The event assembled financial experts, including MP and Deputy Finance Minister Stephen Amoah. According to the president of the Mechanical Engineering Student Association, Desmond Techi Achampong, financial literacy will help students to develop skills in financial management.
So the statistics shows that over 70% of the graduates don't actually get job when they complete university. So we, the executives of the KNUST Mechanical Engineering Student Association, we took it upon ourselves to get in touch with speakers who have in-depth understanding when it comes to finances and also entrepreneurship. So that is why we were able to organize this program to equip our members to have the mentality that they shouldn't rely on the government for jobs, but rather, whilst on campus, they can also start some businesses, and actually when they graduate, they can depend on that business.
Reporting for Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabua.
Let's come back to the city of Accra, where there will be a cleanup exercise from the 2nd of July to the 20th of August in preparation for the Homo festivities. To ensure the effectiveness of this initiative, shops in designated areas of Accra will be required to close. Gamanche Ni Takiteiko Chu II has emphasized that this measure will enhance the success of the cleanup exercise, and all residents of the capital are encouraged to participate.
Indomo mancheme ahiwaleno
Ndomo manyeme ahiwaleno, ndoma safuacheme ahiwaleno, wulomoy ahiwaleno, ndumo wawoya woye ahiwaleno, ndomo amlalu ahiwaleno, ningmene minkpa gan homo wo
I stand on behalf of the people of the Ga State and government to launch this year's homework cleanup exercise. The task forces to supervise this exercise will be paid every 2 weeks by Zoom Lion. All shops are supposed to be closed at the start of this exercise, and all laid down sanitation procedures are expected to be adhered to. Because sicknesses don't know party colors, they affect anyone. Please don't politicize this exercise. I urge you all to rather get involved.
Naje minji neke mo minji neke ke wogan nibi eko kejemi mo wo fe kome ni wo chaya ni nuchumone anyeni aye hin muko akaje kejemi.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources, Lydia Al-Hassan Sairam, says the agenda to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa is still on course and resources will be made available for the cleanup exercise.
Our commitment to making Accra the cleanest city is still on course. This ambitious vision is not just a lofty idea, but a tangible goal we are all steadily working towards through a series of comprehensive and strategic interventions. To this end, the government is doing everything possible to retool the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, 205 tricycles, 42 compassion trucks and skip loaders, 50 skip containers, and over 400 cleaning tools and PPEs have been made available to the MMDAs within the Greater Accra region. This initiative ensures that our local authorities have the necessary resources to maintain cleanliness and manage waste effectively within their jurisdictions. In addition, we have established sanitation committee tasked with the oversight of sanitation activities, fostering community involvement and ensuring sustainable practices in various municipalities.
Now, from our election headquarters, the National Democratic Congress is aiming to win more than 85% of total votes in the Volta region in the upcoming 9th general elections in the December 2024 polls. The Volta Regional NDC Vice Chairperson, Egypt Kudeto, who announced this, charged his comrades to form part of the party's campaign machinery to work towards this target. He was speaking at a 24-hour economy health walk held in Petoi in the Agotimez-Yokwe district of the Volta region.
Hundreds clad in the National Democratic Congress colors participated in the Mammoth Walk in Petoi under the leadership of the Agotimez-Yokwe Member of Parliament, Charles Agbeve. The party faithful walked through the principal streets. The walk ended at the forecourt of the Customs, Excise and Preventive Service bungalows, where party bigwigs took turns in addressing the crowd. Former President John Mahama must return to rescue this country. This year's campaign and election are just like a community service to save Ghana. We must talk about the hardships in the country and the good message of the NDC at every public gathering. We need volunteers to work and criticism to win the elections. Under a John Mahama government, we will have a bank solely for women traders. Women will take money from the bank for their businesses and take care of their families. Mr. Gbeve expressed worry at the delay in clearing the remnants of medical supplies at the thermal port.
We gave him 24 hours. We will grant him his 2 weeks. If within 2 weeks he does not clear the containers, he will hear from us. He will hear from us. But an irresponsible government, insensitive government, has no priority for health.
For our children and the youth to have opportunity to be enrolled into the security services, get employed, it is the 24-hour economy under John Mahama that can see this manifested. Let us vote for him. The NDC Ketu North parliamentary candidate, Edem Agbana, warned against skirt and blouse voting in the general elections. Skirt and blouse, what does that mean? Do not vote skirt and blouse. When somebody tells you he's a youth, so you vote for him and Mahama, tell him you don't know him. The NDC Volta Regional Vice Chairperson, Egypt Kudeto, urged the party faithful to support the party financially to achieve its targets. We are appealing that you help us financially to fuel our vehicles for campaign. So on January 7th, 2025, people will be transported to the Independence Square because John Mahama is winning. Volta Region, we are giving JM more than 85 to 90%. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Betue.
Let's stay in the Volta region, where the Director General of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Eric Esuman, says plans are far advanced to implement food alert system at the Volta Basin to help people that live and work along the basin plan their lives and be on high alert so incidents of floods do not take them by surprise. Dr. Esuman said talks are underway to expand the project to cover the rest of the country. The following report has more.
The Ghana Meteorological Agency has commended government's efforts in fighting climate change and mitigating its impacts as developing countries continue to reel under the harsh effects of climate change. Speaking at the closing ceremony of a workshop organized by the World Meteorological Organization and Adaptation Fund, Director General of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Dr. Eric Esuman, said his outfit has collaborated with the World Meteorological Agency and other institutions to implement flood mitigation measures along the Volta Basin through the Maidiwetra Volta alarm system and early warning for all projects.
Through these bulletins and information from Hydro, out of this bulletin, inform people alongside this basin, inform the NADMO to get themselves prepared, to get the people, taken to safe places or advise them what to do. Again, if you are farming along the basin and you are advising that it's going to be flooding, it's important information for you in your agriculture business. If there's going to be drought, so the project is flood and drought. And so this information will be very instrumental for people whose livelihood depend on the basin, who live along the basin.
Deputy Works and Housing Minister Prince Hamid Ama said Ghana Hydrological Authority is working closely with the Ghana Meteorological Agency and other state actors, including NADMO, to implement the flood early warning system for the Greater Accra region under the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development.
The authority is currently working closely with the Ghana Meteorological Agency and other state actors such as the Water Resource Commission and the National Disaster Management Organization to implement the flood early warning system for Greater Accra region of Ghana under the World Bank funded Greater Accra Resilience and Integrated Development Project.
Representatives from the World Meteorological Organization shared their thoughts on Ghana's progress in mitigating flood and other climate change threats.
The end of this project will not mean the end of WMO support to the 6 countries, but rather we will continue, because of our mandate, to provide assistance to the 6 countries through their national hydrometeorological services in being able to forecast, manage, and be more resilient to extreme events related to floods and drought, especially in light of the creeping climate change and any additional impact it might have on the occurrence and magnitude of floods and droughts.
Because this will help people to behave nicely and be less affected by floods and drought in the basin, and also for the investment in the basin. The most important now is to ensure the sustainability of this nation support system and continue to use this beyond the life scale of the project. What I would like to highlight as well is the fact that this project contributes to enhance the technical and institutional capacity for the main institution involved in flood and drought management, and also the community level in the basin through a series of the training that we organize, dealing about many thematic that can help people to address the issues.
The Volta Flood and Drought Management Project, according to the World Meteorological Organization, has the ambition to provide the first large-scale and transboundary implementation of integrated flood and drought management strategies through the complete chain of end-to-end early warning system for flood forecasting and drought prediction.
For final story in this bulletin, Sirigu Integrated Senior High School is set to make their first appearance at the national stage of the National Science and Maths Quiz after several years of attempt. In a revenge battle for supremacy, the school, located in the north of the Upper East region, did not kowtow to the pressures from the Sandema Senior High School, who were feasting on the bonuses of their contenders, only to attract negative points to themselves. The school, which is joining Notre Dame Seminary Senior High School and Zebila Senior High School, say they are poised for victory at the National Championship, despite being named Greenhorns. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reports from Bolga.
Stars of hope. Yes, we are. Stars of hope. Yes, we are.
Some elated students of Sirigu SHS after their school qualified to the National Championship of the NSMQ for the first time. Their historic win follows years of attempts.
Who's that man not there? It's okay.
We told them that we are coming back. Last year we came, unfortunately things didn't go well. But this year, the whole world has seen what we are capable of doing.
We wish we can invite Kwame Nkrumah to our school.
Really?
Like the saying goes, the most beautiful flowers are found in the bush. So should Presec and the other schools in the cities get prepared and know that the brilliant students from the villages are all from the villages, and we are prepared to come and match them boot for boot, and we are winning this time around. Thank you. We don't talk much, we just show action. So we are just coming. We don't want to talk much. You understand? This competition was just a fallow competition. In fact, it is injustice. It is an unguarded promiscuity. You understand? It is an anathema. We are coming.
That was the mood of the students and teachers after revenging their foes from Sandema SHS with a 12-point margin. They, together with Zebula SHTS and Notre Dame Seminary SHS, are joining the train to the national championship.
You are sweating. How did it feel on stage? It was hot too, but by God's grace, we are able to make it. I'm so happy. After the summer break, we came back. That was 4 days ago. So the master guest went to the dining hall and mentioned some of us our names that we were needed. So that time I was in the house. So the time I guess returned, I got to realize that I was wanted in the HOD's office. So when I got there, he told me that we have a National Science and Maths Quiz competition coming on today. So when I heard that, I was like, no preparation or something.
We are waiting for them. We are waiting for Presec and Premped and all sorts. We are waiting for them. On God.
Our wisdom and prosperity, we are the air. We tomb of excellence.
This time, going to the nationals, we hope to go there, then shake up the place. Because we know that our Mother Mary is behind us. Abi?
Yes.
We are the catalyst. So, well, I like how you hummed
At the Nationals, are you in any way scared? It feels like you are scared.
Oh yes, we are scared, but that does not mean we are not going to fight.
Yes. Thank you.
Being scared of a fight does not mean you should not go into it.
Yes.
Actually means you should go into it and put up your best in it.
We are going to Tamale with full vim to win the zonals, then straight to Kumasi or Accra. But send a message to them. Tell them the big schools. For us, we know that there are only 2 schools in Ghana, Notre Dame and the rest. So we are telling them that as they are, you should prepare for us. We are just coming to speed up the reaction. So we are called the catalyst.
They should prepare for a force that they cannot stop. They cannot withstand.
Which force? Gravitational force or what?
No, this one is not gravitational force. This is the Notre Dame force. This is the Notre Dame force. No resistance. No resistance.
We are who we are.
Because of our faith.
We are who we are.
Because of our faith.
Well, they've definitely said it all, and you definitely would want to meet them fully guarded. And these are the boys from Notre Dame. From here in Bogatanga, my name is Emmanuel Ratskweku.
And that will be all for this bulletin. My name is Sweetie Aboshi. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.